All right, it's that time of the year where the weather is just beautiful. The grass is green. You can feel that seasonal depression just leaving your body, and you're thinking about selling your home. You've maybe outgrown it. Maybe you just got a fat bonus last year, and now it's time to put it to use. Whatever the case is, when you're selling your home, there are a couple things that you absolutely must do. They're amazing positive ROIs when it comes to getting the best price for your house, and it's not overkill, right? If you're like me, you want to kind of do the bare minimum and just get the most bang for your buck. This video is for you. Let's talk about, doesn't matter what the market is doing, three three to four things that you absolutely must do to get your home ready for sale. All right, so the first one that I'm going to talk about is probably the most difficult one. That is essentially the most important one as well, and that is decluttering your house. What does decluttering entail? It's really simple. You have to make your home look as open and as big as possible. You have to make it look in a way where potential buyers can walk in and kind of see their own stuff in there, kind of see different configurations for what they want to do to the home if they were to purchase it. And the best way you can do it is try to take out as many bulky items as possible, clear the counter space as much as possible, store it away right now. And I mean, you're going to move eventually anyways. Might as well get started packing earlier. I'm going to couple decluttering with depersonalizing. So depersonalizing, I would say, is something like where you have family pictures all over the place, might have some religious symbols, religious art, or whatever it is. You want to make the home look as much as a show home as possible, right? You want to give out a very nice aesthetic and a neutral vibe to reach the most amount of people as possible if your goal is to get the most amount of money for your home. Now, you might be somebody who's super busy. You are just rampacked with work. You have kids' activities to do. People have a lot of stuff that's going on in their lives. Totally fine. There are actually services which will help you kind of like pack and store things away until you're ready to move. So, number one would be to declutter. And this is probably the most important part. All right. So, for the next part, I wasn't quite sure where to place this in terms of importance, number two or number three. Really doesn't matter. But let's just go with lighting has to be number two. So what I've noticed, what a lot of people do is they'll use fluorescent lights in their homes. There's many different reasons people do that. People use fluorescent lights because it saves you a ton of money on your hydro bill. Okay, totally positive reason to do that. It might be something you've kind of grown up with and it feels very comfortable, very homely, which is fine. But what I would recommend is when you're selling your home, you want your home to look as cozy and as warm as possible. And what that would mean, in my opinion, is to replace your fluorescent lights with incandescent bulbs all over the house. Whether it's your lamps, whether it's the light in the ceiling, those bulbs are relatively not very expensive. We're not looking at a major cost, it's a small cost. It does give an amazing look in pictures, in person, and I mean, I think there's studies done to show this actually even better for you from the health perspective as well. If it isn't, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember hearing. So the second thing that I would say emphasis would be on is lighting, indoors, outdoor. Get incandescent if possible. It would make a huge difference, and there's definitely a positive return on that improvement. Okay, so the third thing that you must do to get your home ready for sale has to do with paint. So this is a bit of a touchy subject for a lot of people. Like I've gone into homes where the walls are yellow, lime green, very sort of tropical colors, which I get. I mean, I've been to, Barbados and Bermuda and different places, and I can feel that vibe. You go to Mexico, a lot of homes are painted in different bright colors. It's really nice. I mean, it warms you up and definitely helps you, deal with the seasonal depression a little bit. But when it comes to selling your home, okay, so there's two reasons why you got to get a paint job done inside your house. Number one is obviously if you have those bright colors, it's worth it to spend some money in it and get neutral colors to attract the most amount of buyers, to kind of get most amount of people interested in your home. Because nobody really wants to purchase a house and then spend thousands of dollars to paint it. It's less headache, it's easier, it's worth more in terms of value to the buyer if the paint is neutral. And the other thing is, if you've been living inside of a house for any period of time, 5 to 10 years, guys, you're gonna have scuffs, you're gonna have scratches. If you have large pets, for example, things are going to happen. I mean, you live in a house. That's what happens when you live in a house. And so to get those things up to par with what's happening in the market, you're going to have to spend a little bit of money and get touch ups done or get the paint jobs done. Now, I know it's not the cheapest thing in the world to do to get a house painted. I think right now for an average home, you're probably looking around $5,000 to get a house painted, but it is absolutely worth it coming from a realtor who shows tons of homes. Nothing makes your house pop more than a fresh coat of paint. Doesn't matter how old the house is. So that's number three, worth the investment. Get your house painted to get it ready for the market. Okay, and number four, bonus one here is has to do with landscaping. Landscaping, I think a lot of people who don't kind of tackle that issue is because they find it to be a bit intimidating. I think especially when it comes to like properties that are tenanted, you'll see that they haven't really been taken care of or loved, for that matter. But the reason why I bring that up is we had a client. I had a client who had an investment property. It was like an end unit townhouse with a really big lot, and the tenant that was in that property really hadn't done the proper maintenance, that an owner would have done, invested money into the seeding, the fertilizer, what have you, all the different things that you can do to make your lawn look amazing. So when it came time to sell, the grass was not properly maintained. There were shrubs around the house which weren't watered properly and that just dried out and they looked like tumbleweeds. So we had somebody come in, a landscaping company come in. They mowed the lawn, trimmed the edges. Wherever the plants had kind of died, the shrubs had kind of died and dried up. Removed them. Put what's that thing that they put in there? It's like wood chips, like black wood chips. I forget the term for that, but they put that in there, made it look really nice, really aesthetic. And I think the total cost of kind of bringing the life back into that lawn was about $8,000. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was absolutely worth the investment. So if you're getting your house ready for the market and you yourself don't have the tools or the time to do stuff like that, get a landscaping company, get a couple of quotes. It's not that expensive and it is absolutely worth every penny. So I just Googled it. The word is mulch. The black wood chips are called mulch, and they make a huge impact on how your house looks from the outside. So these are my four tips for you to get your home ready for the market. So we talked about decluttering, depersonalizing. We talked about lighting. We talked about getting a paint job or touch ups done, depending on what your house needs. And last but not least, we talked about landscaping. Do these four things and you will see an amazing response from the market for those. If you have any questions about the market, if you have any questions about home preps, let me know. Leave it in the comment section. We'd love to connect, and I will see you in the next video.